6, right? We're going to go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. Thank you, everybody, for silencing so quickly. We're excited tonight for our proclamation reading and having everybody here and present. We're going to go ahead and start with our flag salute, so I'd like to defer to Commissioner Wilson to lead us in our pledge this evening.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Let's please stand and our right hand over our heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Amen. Yes, all means all.
All. Yes, in the spirit of this evening. All right, we're going to go ahead and we'll start with a roll call.
Yes. Commissioner Deutsch?
Here.
Vice Chair Eventov? Here. Commissioner Lecters?
Here.
Chair Pastorian?
Here.
Commissioner Steed?
Here.
And Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Thank you.
Perfect. And do we have any non-agenda items comments?
Yes, we do. We have 4. Our first speaker is Jillian Larson, to be followed by Cecilia Birch, and you'll have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I think that's your title, isn't it? I just wanted to come back. I know I came at the beginning of the year, and I just wanted to come back and tell you all again. I'm talking to Temecula as well, because you know everybody watches virtually, as I do. I don't always make it to meetings, but I do watch it so that I can fast forward when I need to and reverse and listen again. So thank you. You're all just amazing out there in the public. You go to everything representing the REDI that you represent. You're there for all the seniors. I'm one of them. You're there for diversity and cultures. I'm one of them. So you're there for special needs. I see you at all these events. I see you there. I see you interacting with everybody. You're talking to everybody. You are the eyes and ears for all of us that are not able to, or whatever the reason is, we don't go out. And thank you again for having Pride Week proclamation, because that is amazing. In the world today, where there is so much dissent about what we're here to celebrate tonight, is the diversity and the pride that we have in our LGBT community. So thank you for doing that, as always, despite the blowback that you may get from some people. Thank you for that, and keep up your good work. And I see you on Facebook or whatever social media you use if I haven't seen you in person somewhere. So you guys are everywhere. I probably shouldn't use the word guys, but there we go. I know Jeff couldn't do it in Survivor anymore, so I maybe should stop. But thank you again. What you do is absolutely amazing, and you see Temecula. You see all of Temecula. So thank you, and I will continue to come and tell you thank you. Thank you.
Next speaker is Cecilia Birch, to be followed by Ann Woodward. Cecilia Birch.
Good evening. I'm here representing the Center for Spiritual Living, Temecula Valley, and we have a Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee. We were here last month. We've brought some more people tonight, and I just really want to thank you for the work that you do. We'll have some events coming up, and we'll let you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Ann Woodward, to be followed by James Curtis.
Well, it's nice to be back before the commission. Nice to see all of you. I'm Ann Woodward, and I'm representing myself, but I'm also part of the Centers for Spiritual Living, and we support the diversity and inclusion in our own community. I brought something, and I pulled the wrong note out. Excuse me. I promise I won't use up my time, but I wanted to share this because I looked it up, and I know you're going to do a wonderful presentation tonight, but I looked up the definition of pride in Webster's, and it says, a feeling of pleasure, satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the accomplishments of those with whom one is closely associated. And the second definition is the consciousness of one's own dignity. And that's what I feel we're looking for here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is James Curtis, to be followed by Justin Davey.
I'm also from the Center for Spiritual Living. I just want to pass along a little enlightenment that we're not different races, different colors. We're just different shades of the same color. Pass that on. What we see today with racism is bigger. It's tribalism. When we were in tribes, we would see other tribes as inferior all the time. That's how we saw them. But this is bigger because they even see women as not equal. They could be of the same race, but they're not equal. So this is a bigger picture today. It's tribalism. And tribalism doesn't belong in the melting pot that is America. In this imperfect world, 1 and 1 makes 2. But in the spiritual world, when two people come together through the spirit of love, 1 and 1 makes 1. Because spiritually, there is no space between us. And that's how we should live. Our differences do not divide us. We are, how would you say, we are so successful in this country because of our diversity. We're cutting edge technically is because we invite people from other lands to come and join us. And that's what makes it strong. It doesn't divide us, it makes us strong. Even the big societies like the Romans and the Greeks realize we're growing so big we have to invite other people besides Greeks and Romans. We won't be able to survive. And they did that, and they put their differences aside. That's what modern societies should be like. And I just want to pass that on, that as a spiritual man to spiritual people I'm speaking to, that we are all together in this, we are all one. I use the Beatles sometimes. I am he as you are me as they are we, and we are all together. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Thank you. Our final speaker under non-agenda is Justin Davey.
Well, first and foremost, I just wanted to thank the REDI Commission for doing what you do. Thank you, thank you. This gathering is needed now more than ever, and I want to thank you again for this opportunity. My name is Justin Daly. I'm the president of Temecula Valley Pride. We're a local nonprofit organization here in Temecula Valley, and we opened our first Pride Center in Temecula Valley about a year ago. So a lot of movement, a lot of progress happening, and again, it's because of your partnerships and others in the area, so thank you. I think it's important to recognize, again, Pride Month is a month of joy, it's a month of celebration, it's a month of gathering. We've been traveling in Southern California, attending different events. The most recently was in Oceanside, and to see the smiling faces and the camaraderie was really, really great to see. And again, something we want to bring to Temecula as well. So again, I want to wish everyone a happy Pride Month, and we hope to see you all at future events, including our Pride Festival in October. Happy Pride, everyone.
That was our final speaker.
Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and move on to our consent calendar. So we can move to that. And we have the approval of the minutes. The motion.
Make a motion?
Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Steed and a second by Commissioner Wilson. I'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Deutsch?
Aye.
Vice Chair Eventov? Abstain, I was absent. Commissioner Lecters?
Aye.
Chair Pastorian?
Aye.
Commissioner Steed?
Aye.
And Commissioner Wilson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Perfect. We're going to move to our business item. And that is going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Pride Month, which is really exciting. It's why we're all here tonight. So I started to generate a couple of comments for this evening's gathering. And so I wanted to start with that and just say that tonight is a night of celebration. It's a night of a time of honor and courage and resilience, a brilliance in the LGBTQ plus community. Pride is a lot more than a celebration, and it is something that occurs more than just in this month, but in every month. It is a reminder of how powerful our identities are, and that we should continue to respect, love, and cherish every relationship that we are gifted to encounter. We are so blessed to have everybody in our audience tonight who is here to celebrate, here to honor, here to hold hands with, love one another, and ensure that the power of togetherness is felt in this room tonight. This is a safe space, and it always has been, and I am proud to be a part of the city of Temecula who has created this space for us to do these things that we're doing here tonight. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and move to our staff report and video.
Yes, Chair Pastorian. First of all, happy Pride, everyone. So glad you guys are here with us. We're very thankful for your presence tonight, and look forward to celebrating with you all tonight. It's probably going to be a shorter meeting, so we hope you will all stick around until the end so we can get some pictures and just celebrate and be happy together. And then we can go ahead, if you would like, feel free to visit the Sunset Market or some music out there and just enjoy the evening. We do have a video tonight, so Chris, I will ask you to go ahead and play that video.
June is Pride Month. Yes, it's time to wave the rainbow flag and celebrate the activism, resilience, and history of the LGBTQ+ community. Each year, a growing number of cities hold their annual Pride Parade, a march that often features floats, protests, and crowds of supporters living loud and proud. You might already be familiar with the history of the New York City Stonewall riots, the tinderbox that ignited the modern LGBTQ movement in the United States as we know it, and the reason Pride Month is still celebrated in June. Less familiar, however, is the history of the Pride Parade. So how exactly did a Manhattan riot become a march, and how did a march become the international occasion we have today? Let's dig into those questions and see what they have to tell us about pride, politics, and the ongoing evolution of community action. But before we start waving to crowds from floats, we're going to have to look back at the history before Stonewall. While the riots were a milestone in LGBTQ activism, there's been a lot of activities and events leading up to it. One important milestone was the annual reminder in Philadelphia, which provided a kind of blueprint for LGBTQ public gatherings moving forward. On July 4th, 1965, somewhere around 40 people gathered outside Independence Hall. Dressed in professional attire, they picketed for gay rights, becoming one of the largest known demonstrations for homosexual issues in the United States at that time. Organized by the East Coast Homophile Organization, two of its most prominent leaders, Frank Kameny and Barbara Giddings, placed an emphasis on assimilation. Kameny had been dismissed from public service for his sexual orientation and wanted to prove to all who attended the annual reminder that gay people could be just as professional and acceptable as anyone else. The annual reminder became the first gay rights event to be repeated and continued until 1969, the year of the Stonewall riots. Commemorating Stonewall will replace it from then on. The annual reminder wasn't without its critics inside the movement, however, as many wondered if the event's emphasis on normalness left out transgender and gender variant members of the community. Still, with the crowds it drew and the message it conveyed, the annual reminder showed that public community demonstrations, while risky, were worth considering as a tactic. Which brings us to Stonewall. The bar in Greenwich Village, New York, became the site of a clash between patrons and the police on June 28, 1969. It was a long time coming, as police had been regularly harassing bargoers at LGBTQ meeting places like Stonewall for years. That morning was no different, as police entered the Stonewall Inn, arrested employees for selling liquor without a license, and cleared out the bar, the second time in just a few days. Only this time, the patrons waiting outside didn't clear and scatter. They heckled the police, threw bottles at them, and made their anger loud and clear. The police, who weren't used to this kind of behavior, asked for reinforcements to barricade themselves inside the bar, while around 400 people rioted outside. The barricade was breached, the bar was set on fire, and all in all the riots went on, stopping and starting for several more days. The late 1960s was a time of social upheaval, as other communities were also fighting for racial and gender equality. Stonewall was part of that revolutionary moment in history and asserted the LGBTQ movement as a force to be reckoned with. Stonewall became the rallying cry for change, and the riots were commemorated the very next year in what was called the Christopher Street Liberation March, named after the location of the Stonewall Inn. We recognize it today as the very first Pride Parade. We actually have some accounts from the organizers of the first Liberation March. In the Village Voice, Fred Sargent, who'd been present at the Stonewall riots, wrote about using the Oscar Wilde Memorial Bookshop as a hub for the nascent movement. The bookshop became a busy intersection for budding young activist groups like the Lavender Menace and the Gay Liberation Front. It was these thinkers and activists who decided to keep the momentum of Stonewall going, and who would begin the tradition of the Pride Parade. But it was no easy task to get the all-new LGBTQ advocacy groups on the same page, and organizing the first march was a massive undertaking. Brenda Howard, sometimes called the Mother of Pride, and later the founder of the New York Area Bisexual Network, rose to the challenge. Howard is credited with turning the march into a week-long series of activities, including a dance. This component would ultimately guide the march towards its evolution into a month-long event. 1 year after Stonewall, the first Pride March in New York City took place on June 28, 1970. It began on Washington Place and traveled along 6th Avenue before ending with a gay end in Central Park. The main goal was visibility. For a community that had been pushed to the margins of society, being out and proud was a revolutionary act. It was a huge success, drawing over 5,000 attendees, 5 times more than the organizers expected, and a new tradition was born, one that would last through the decades. Concurrent marches commemorated Stonewall in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Chicago, which actually beat the New York City March to the punch by 1 day. In the beginning, most attendees wore their everyday clothes, but some began to wear elaborate costumes to punctuate the radical act of being seen. Over time, the event took on a more celebratory tone, with Los Angeles becoming the first city to incorporate a festival component in 1974, a move credited to gay filmmaker Pat Rocco, and Gilbert Baker's rainbow pride flag first flew in San Francisco in 1978. Music and floats were added as well. When the organizers of the first Pride March gathered together, they couldn't have known what their event would grow into. Today, Pride Parades are held around the world, and June remains not only a month to celebrate, but also to educate the next generation of LGBTQ+ people and allies on their history. Today, there are too many Pride Parades to count, and some are even held in countries where lawmakers have attempted to stop them, like in Poland, Turkey, and even a refugee camp in Kenya. The legacy of Pride has helped keep alive the stories of movement legends like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, both of whom are only now being commemorated with a monument in New York City. Johnson was a founding member of the Gay Liberation Front, and later went on to establish the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries alongside Rivera. The group was dedicated to helping homeless young drag queens, gay youth, and trans women, and anyone else who needed help. But now, just as back then, there are debates over what Pride should be. Some have criticized the corporatization of Pride, with companies participating in sponsored floats and events, while others say the parade should go back to its roots as purely a protest. There are also lingering questions as to the inclusiveness of the Pride Parade. UK Black Pride, for example, was created due to the historic exclusion of Black people at Pride. A rainbow flag with a black and brown stripe was also created to emphasize the inclusion of LGBTQ+ people of color, and was met with both support and controversy. No matter what the future holds, one thing remains abundantly clear. The Pride Parade was born out of the bravery and activism of organizers who wanted to change the world, and it's here to stay. So, happy Pride, everyone!
Chair Pastorian, I'm always amazed at every time we do these proclamations about what we find that we knew and what, more importantly, what we didn't know. And that continues to be a part of our messaging here for all of our proclamations. Our motto is that we want to make sure that we are acing it, and that includes acknowledgement, that includes celebration, and that absolutely includes education. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over for continued education to Commissioner Steed.
Okay, so we're at the part in the program where we do our own little bit of education here, give some facts and statistics so we can have that There we go. Thank you very much. All righty. So we have some statistics here about the LGBTQ population. According to the 2023 American Community Survey, there were approximately 1.3 same-sex couple households in the United States in 2023. The share of female-female and male-male couples with both partners employed did not differ significantly, though median household income in female same-sex couple households, about $104,000, was lower than male same-sex couple households, $134,000, so about $30,000 in the difference. Both partners had at least a bachelor's degree in 35% of the same-sex couples, compared to just over 18% in opposite-sex unmarried couples. About 32.5% same-sex couples are in an interracial relationship, compared to 18.9% of opposite-sex married couples. About 82% of opposite-sex married couples own a home, and 48.3% of unmarried opposite-sex couples own a home, and 62.6% of same-sex couples own a home. That's a lot of tongue twisters there. Okay.
You did great.
Okay, so we're going to go on to timeline, and every month we do this when we give out proclamations, and it blows my mind how crazy the timelines always are, but these dates are so important. As we evolve as human beings, we know better, we do better, and our timelines tend to improve. So let's start back in 1924. The Society of Human Rights is founded by Henry Gerber and is the first documented gay rights organization. 1969, Pride Month commemorates the June 1969 uprising at Stonewall in New York, where members of the LGBTQ community and allies rose to fight discriminatory laws that have been since declared unconstitutional. That's a big word right now. 1970, New York community members marched through local streets to recognize the one-year anniversary of the Stonewall riots. The Christopher Street Liberation Day March is now considered the country's first gay pride parade. 1977, the New York Supreme Court ruled that transgender woman Renee Richards could play at the United States Open tennis tournament as a woman. 1993, the president passed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell DADT policy, which allowed gay men and women to serve in the military if they did not serve openly. 2011, DADT is repealed, ending a ban on gay men and lesbians from serving openly in the military. 2013, California legalizes same-sex marriage. Not that long ago. 2016, designation of the first national monument to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer rights, the Stonewall National Monument. In 2022, the President signed the Respect of Marriage Act into law, which requires that individual states recognize same-sex and interracial marriages that were lawfully performed in other states. We leave you with that today. We want to wish you happy Pride Month. We thank you for being here. We always say, let's ace it, acknowledge it, celebrate, and educate. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Steed. I believe we have a video as well from
Yes,
Supervisor
we have
Washington.
a video from Supervisor Chuck Washington. We'll go ahead and play that now.
Hi, I'm Chuck Washington, Riverside County 3rd District Supervisor, and it's a privilege to join you during Pride Month this year. In America, no one should fight through discrimination and hatred for their right to be treated with respect and dignity. No matter your gender identity or sexual orientation, this June, let us ensure that members of the LGBTQIA+ community feel our support and embrace. And happy Pride.
Thank you. I believe we have Mayor or Councilmember Schmeck now, who has some comments for us as well.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Chair Pastorian and REDI Commission, for continuing to honor everyone in our community. And it is truly an honor for me to be here again tonight as we celebrate Pride Month. So happy Pride, everyone. Yeah. I typically have like a speech, but I just left it at home. And I thought, like, this moment I think calls for more heart. Like, it calls for a little more caring and a little more understanding. You know, I think the environment that we're in right now is extremely challenging. And for a city like Temecula to continue to do this means a lot. And I think it matters. I think as an elected official, there are times where we need to stand up, and now is that time to stand up, stand with members of our community that often don't feel represented. And so that's why I'm here tonight, and that's why I will continue to do that on City Council. I think, you know, sort of thinking about some of the impacts that, you know, the REDI Commission and some of the proclamations that we've done over the years have had, I have a pride flag on my desk. And I often give tours of, you know, City Hall in my office. And it wasn't too long ago that I was giving a tour and was asked a question, like, well, why do you have a pride flag on your desk? And before I could even answer, another person in the group says, well, because he's elected and he represents everyone. And that's the most important thing that I think I want to sort of leave here tonight, right? Given the controversy that we're facing in our community, and I've seen the Facebook posts and I'm thoroughly disgusted with many of the comments that I've seen online about Pride Month and about our community continue to celebrate. But it is important that we do so. It is important that we stand up. It's important that we stand in front of people at times. It's important that we stand with people at times. And so I'm here tonight to stand with you and to really proclaim that this isn't going away, right? There's going to be a Pride event later this month in our community, which hopefully I will get invited to. I would love to attend. And in the future, I would be more than happy to bring a proclamation to those events and really sort of meet our community where they are. And if that's where you are, I want to be there, and I want to be there to support you. But I couldn't do it without the REDI Commission. I couldn't do it without staff, and I certainly couldn't do it without the community as a whole. You all matter. You mean the world to this community, and I'm just honored and proud to be a part of Temecula. I'm proud to be a part of City Council, and I'm proud to be a part of this evening tonight. And I hope everyone stays, and there is music outside, and so maybe we can go grab a drink and celebrate. But thank you all. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it. I noticed you didn't even start my timer, so I could keep going. And I wore my... I wore my Pride Vans too, so.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Swank. It is my distinct honor tonight and certainly privilege as I look out across this room and see the brightness and the light and the hope and the love and all of the things that make us a community to read tonight the proclamation. City of Temecula Proclamation. Whereas Pride Month commemorates June 1969 uprising at Stonewall in New York City, where members of the LGBTQ community and allies rose to fight discriminatory laws and have been since declared unconstitutional. And whereas the month of Pride is celebrated through various recognitions and activities in support of the LGBTQ community locally, statewide, nationally, and internationally. And whereas the LGBTQ individuals, families, and supporters are the integral part of the fabric of the community and contribute to its overall economy and quality of life. And whereas the LGBTQ members are represented in the public and private sector as professionals, business owners, educators, students, volunteers, veterans, and more. And whereas Temecula appreciates the value and dignity of each person and acknowledges the important contributions of the LGBTQ community to promote principles of equality, acceptance, and love. And whereas it is imperative that young people in our community feel valued, safe, empowered, and supported by their peers and community leaders, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or other expressions. And whereas all are welcome in the city of Temecula to live, work, and play, every individual and family of any diversity deserves a safe and happy home supported by friends and neighbors. And now, therefore, I, Mayor Brenda Kalfas, on behalf of the city of Temecula, hereby proclaim the month of June 2025 to be Pride Month. in recognition of the support of the LGBTQ individuals and families in our community. It is with that I believe that we have some presentations.
We do, Chair Pastorian. We have some proud representatives of the Great Oak High School GSA that are here. I believe Terrence and Asia. Welcome.
First of all, happy Pride Month. Thank you for inviting us. We're honored to be able to present on why safe spaces for LGBTQ youth, such as GSA, are important. Research from the Trevor Project, a nonprofit organization focused on suicide prevention of LGBTQ youth, has shown that the presence of a GSA results in improved academic achievement, school attachment, and overall mental well-being for LGBTQ youth. This is incredibly important, as they also mentioned that nationally, 39% of LGBTQ young people reported considering suicide the past year, according to the survey results, and that figure was 46% among transgender and non-binary youth. This is why safe places are so necessary. They can reduce the likelihood of mental stress and reduce suicide percentages in order to make the pressures from prejudice more tolerable. Similarly, statistics from the Trevor Project found that after analyzing a full day of post-election conversations across their crisis services, it saw an overall volume increase in mentions of the election by nearly 700% on November 6th compared to prior weeks. In addition, in these services, it found that election-related conversations and stress increased by nearly 5,200% compared to averages leading up to Election Day. Numerous queer kids have considered and many even committed suicide after the last election's results due to the fear of losing their rights and risking their safety simply by being themselves. And because of that, we dedicate the speech to the queer kids that became statistics last November, the queer kids that went through with it. LGBTQ youth deserve a safe space because the prejudice found in our society makes the wider world unsafe. It's unsafe when 593 anti-LGBTQ bills have been introduced across the country, as recorded by the American Civil Liberties Union, which targeted queer youth, especially transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming youth. It's unsafe when these laws prevent the LGBTQ community from healthcare access, education, free speech, accurate identification, and civil rights. It was unsafe when Florida implemented its Don't Say Gay and Don't Say They bills, harming the LGBTQ community through their poor treatment of queer individuals, by furthering stigma and contributing to bullying, making many LGBTQ youth feel unsupported. These bills are only two examples of many in which ignorance has furthered the suffering of queer youth by stripping them of any sense of community. It's unsafe when there are LGBTQ kids who are living in dangerous home environments or at risk of getting kicked out because of who they are. It's hard enough that queer youth are forced to suffer in this way, but even harder when they have little or no support system to back them up. Our society continues to prove itself unsafe due to bullying from both other youth and adults, prejudicial laws and policies, and a general lack of support to queer youth. That's why they need a safe space, because the world has become so unsafe that sometimes it's the only one they have. On a different note, with the GSA next year, we're planning on taking a more public approach with similar speeches, advocacy, connecting and helping out with larger organizations, education, and continuing to provide a local safe space for queer individuals, taking action on both a local and wider scale. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Well done, well done. I do believe now we have public comments on this item.
Yes, we do. We have one, Arthur Salyer.
My name's Art Salyer. Lana and I have lived in the city of Temecula for 35 years. I am the LGBTQIA+ ministry coordinator for the Temecula United Methodist Church. Thank you. I bring a message from our pastor, Drew Davis. He would have loved to be here in person, but he's at the college graduation of his daughter up in Santa Cruz today. To the REDI Commission and our friends in Temecula, we send this message to you from the Temecula United Methodist Church in support and celebration of the reading of this proclamation for Pride Month. We have so many siblings who find themselves in moments of worry and concern, often based on their journeys of self-discovery and proclaiming their identities and loves. It is moments like this and the reading of this proclamation that remind many that they are not alone and that they have supporters and caregivers in their community. As members of the Temecula United Methodist Church, we affirm, celebrate, and support each dear member of our LGBTQIA+ siblings. We stand for you, we stand with you, and we always have an affirming place for you. You are never alone. Upon the reading of this proclamation, know that so many love and affirm you. Although you may hear other voices speaking negatively at this event, there are many who are ready to reach out for your hand and support you. The hardest struggle in life is feeling alone. Within that struggle with loneliness, many find themselves grasping for support and answers. Please remember, you are never truly alone. And with the reading of this proclamation today, so many are reaching out to you to let you know that we are willing to stand with you and support you. Even though in moments others may express otherwise, God truly is love, and God affirms the wholeness of your true identity. God is love. Drew Davis, pastor, Temecula United Methodist Church. Thank you.
Chairwoman Pastorian, we just want to make sure, in case somebody's here that's new, that didn't know they needed to fill out a speaker card, if there's anybody in the audience that would like to make a public comment and you didn't know you had to fill out a speaker card, you're welcome to come up if you would like. Okay, so that can...
We have one.
Oh, come on up. Sir, you have up to 5 minutes.
Thank you. I didn't plan on speaking tonight. I just wanted to give a salute to my fellow LGBTQIA+ veterans and people in uniform who are being kicked out of service. I was a supervisor in North Africa deployed with the U.S. Air Force, and those are the most effective people I've ever worked with in my entire life. And it's not fair. It's not fair. I support everything that you've said today, and I really appreciate everything that's been done. And it's really difficult time for veterans and for everybody at this time. And just stand strong and don't give in to fear, and we will win this fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. With that, then we're going to go ahead and move to our commissioner comments. And again, we invite you to stay. We'll go through our commissioner comments, our executive director comments, and then we'll be adjourning and we'll have photos. And then again, invite you all to go to the Sunset Market, hang out with some of us, and celebrate this wonderful evening and celebrate Pride Month together. So with that, Stacia?
All right, I am so, so grateful for all of you who are present here today, all of you who are watching. It breaks my heart a little bit that we don't have more of the student groups here. We used to have a lot of the younger kids. But things change. And one thing I do want to mention, that video was amazing, and it's a PBS production. So if you didn't notice that, let's start off the bat with that, because PBS also is having a hard time right now. Today was a terrible day. But one of the things I learned in that video, and if you don't know, I'm a children's author. That's my career. So you may have seen me. She was saying all these things, and I'm like jotting them down, going, is there a children's book on this? Is there a children's book on that? And which one of you is going to help me write it? But one of the things that was really amazing, and I wrote it down, is that there were 40 people at the annual reminder. This is before the Pride parades. And I looked out into this room here today and I thought, we've come so far, and yet we're also circling back. We need 40 people to show up so that next year there are 45 people, and the next year after that there are 50 people, because of the damage that's being done and the way that we are being pulled apart. We have made tremendous strides, and I know every footstep is so hard. And there are so many challenges, and it's like climbing a mountain again. But we can do it as long as we do it together. And I am so blessed by the people in this room and the people on this commission who have spent the years embracing pride and the proclamations, when the proclamations came to this committee instead of at the city council. It's just every day we put one foot in front of the other. I just want to thank you again for coming tonight and call on us. Let us hold hands, walk this road together. Yeah, I'm so emotional. And especially after the last speaker, I got extra emotional. And the first speaker, I got really emotional. It's just one of those nights that my gratitude to you and for stepping out and being the public face of Pride is so important. We're here with you. Hands on your back, holding hands together. Find us, let us be a community and climb this mountain together.
Commissioner Electors?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Start a sentence with I moved to Temecula just about 4 years ago, and I had no idea what to expect. I didn't care because I was moving to be near our grandbabies. My wife and I have one son and two grandbabies, a 6 and 6-year-old granddaughter who runs everything, by the way, and a 10-year-old grandson. My grandchildren happen to be African American, and we didn't really know what this community was going to be like. We were excited to move to California and excited to be near the grandbabies, a little bit more than a bike ride away. They can't just show up. But we moved to this community and found quickly that it was probably the most conservative place that I've ever lived. I've lived in Seattle most of my life, lived on the East Coast, Washington, D.C., lived in Maryland for a while. And that doesn't in and of itself bother me. But when I came and learned that Temecula had actually started a commission focused on race, equity, diversity, and inclusion, it was compelling to me. I have spent more than 40 years fighting injustice in various venues. I do national work on anti-racism, do a lot of work with vulnerable children and family populations in the child welfare systems. And so when I learned that Temecula had stood up this commission and what Temecula had gone through to stand up this commission, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And somehow I got invited to join the commission, Commissioner Wilson. And I'm remembering too the first Pride proclamation that we did, and it was across the hall in the big conference room over there, and it was pretty nasty. It was pretty contentious. And so I want to just recognize that too, because the last couple of years, it's been like this. It's been a celebration, and it should be a celebration, and we celebrate our LGBTQ plus community here in Temecula. You are part of the fabric, part of the tapestry, the beautiful tapestry. I want to make an invitation. Stacia mentioned that we're circling back. We're in a very compelling moment of backlash and retrenchment on all fronts of oppression. And oppression touches all of us. It hurts all of us, whether we're the focus of the oppression or not. And the invitation is, in all the work that I've done over the years, what I've learned most importantly is that we have a tendency to be part of the problem if we're centering our focus on one particular oppression. We cannot compete within our anti-oppression work. We cannot rank oppressions. We cannot focus on a singular oppression because that's actually a tactic of those who oppress. They want us divided. They want us competing with each other. They want us fighting each other. They want us to be pointing the finger at each other. So the invitation is, come next month. Show up in other places where people are feeling oppressed. Our veterans need all of us. Our immigrant population, our non-citizen population need us all to stand with them. The children, the babies need us to stand with them. We're celebrating Juneteenth this month, a very amazing, that's right. Oh yeah. And actually the NAACP of Lake Elsinore is hosting a Juneteenth celebration at the ballpark up in Lake Elsinore on June 20th, so I invite everybody to check that out. It's going to be a great celebration. But let's stand together. Let's, as Stacia said, let's lock arms and fight these oppressive forces together. They're not complex. They're not very bright in this stuff. Hate is not smart. And so we can be strong enough to get past that, and we can be smart enough, strong enough, and together really fight these oppressive forces. And hate just has no place in this. Love is exactly right. We should be centering love in all things and everything we do. Thank you for joining us from the church, and please give my regards to Pastor Drew. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Wilson?
Thank you so much, Chair Pastorian. First of all, I want to just tell everyone here, happy Pride Month, and thank you for being here. We truly stand in agreement and support of you. Also for the Temecula Center for Spiritual Living, thank you for being here. Yes, definitely. Temecula United Methodist Church, we applaud you for being here, also for speaking, and then the students from Great Oak High School, and also exactly, you can applaud them, yes. And Council Member Zach Swink, I want to thank you for being here because I was across the hall that time that Lyman spoke about, and it was a heated discussion. And I remember you went to the mic and you said, if you need a hug, I'm giving out hugs. And there were people in tears there that came in support of Pride, and they were being torn down. And our president, I think he was our mayor at the time, he says, I'm giving out hugs. And after the event, we did go out and have a drink. So you said that tonight, so he is a man of his word. He definitely will do that. So I wanted to, this poem celebrates LGBTQ plus pride, emphasizing on self-acceptance, love, and the importance of identity. It highlights the strength and resilience of the community, advocating for a world that embraces diversity and inclusivity. Here is the poem. The colors of pride. In a world of shades where colors blend, the LGBTQ plus stands a vibrant trend. With hearts ablaze and spirits bold, their stories bravely now unfold. From hidden corners to the light, they shine their truth both day and night. Through trials faced as battles won, their resilience shine like the sun. Love knows no boundaries, no form, but love's connections a steady norm. Embrace the self, the true and free, a kaleidoscope of identity. So let the colors of pride soar high, a celebration under the sky. For every soul a rightful claim to love and live and shout their name. It is vibrant tapestry of love and life. Let the acceptance be our guiding night to cut through prejudice and fear and welcome all year after year. So let the rainbow banner fly, a symbol of hope reaching high. For LGBTQ plus pride, a vibrant art, a love-filled journey of the heart. Amen. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioner Steed?
I just want to thank everybody for being here. It's always interesting when we give out these proclamations, and we serve at the the luxury of the city, right? They appointed us, they put us here, they started the REDI Commission, and so we're thankful for our city that we have this platform. But every month, somebody comes up here and thanks us for being here. And really, we should thank you for showing up because you're the reason we're here. You're the only reason we're here. This month, every year, is a joyous, beautiful month, and because of 2 years ago, it's kind of terrifying to step into this room. Just because of what happened. The hate that was in the room just broke my heart. And last year was beautiful. It showed us all that we are better than that, and we're above that, and we come and we celebrate and we do the right things. When our high school kids come and give us the statistics about the Trevor Project, about kids committing suicide, that's not okay. That our children have to talk about these things and have these conversations and think about these things. That's not okay. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what your religion is. These are our babies. These are our kids. And we know better, and we should do better. At the end of the day, look at your children. How do you want people to treat your children? So I say give all the love in the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving each other. Thank you for being bigger and better than what's out there, because at the end of the day, love is always going to win, and we'll always be here for you. Thank you.
Your turn.
So why do we have pride? Because race, equity, diversity, and inclusion, this commission should also be equality. And the fight is real. The fight continues. I'm going to add a few stats to that presentation. LGBTQ plus people, 13 plus, of which 4 million are BIPOC. Nearly half of the LGBTQ plus people are raising children. But when it comes to protections, only 24 states and 3 territories plus DC explicitly prohibit employment discrimination. Only 24 states based on sexual orientation and or gender identity. And 18 states and 5 territories have no explicit prohibitions for housing discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity in state law. So the fight is real. And for those that are out there that said that they're patriots and believe in the Constitution or that they want to believe in equality, there's a big old population that's not being treated equally. And so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's here. Every year, every year I say I'm not going to do this, and every single year I already got it.
You already pulled a Phoenix out.
Sorry. This hits home because I lost a lot of friends in the 80s. And that's a different generation. It's a million years ago. But every time I come here and I see the faces out here, it reminds me of those faces I lost. You guys inspire me with your words, your courage, your dignity, and your resolve. Thank you for being here, and keep the fight going, because you matter, and you always have friends up here. Thank you. God damn.
Thank you. Thank you. Chair Eventop. We appreciate you and we love you. It's hard to think about where to begin, and I think I'll go back to that 2 years ago. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do it. It was ugly. It was very rough. In fact, I want to take my hats off to the Great Oak GSA today, because it has been a long time since we have seen you. And so it is nice to have you in the room this evening, and that is a testament of where we are today, and that's progress. That's progress. So thank you for showing us progress tonight. Because it was rough, and so having you here is really important. There's a lot of faces that I look out and see that mean a whole lot to me, and I am so thankful to all of you who showed up tonight. I'm thankful for those of you who weren't sure if you were going to show up tonight, but showed up tonight. I want to acknowledge those that provide safe spaces and places for those that are in the process of becoming resilient in ways that they should never have to be resilient. I want to thank you personally for that. It is in our diversity that we are connected. And the more you can wrap your minds around that and your hearts around that, we start to see just how close we really are as humans and how much that love is what is doing that. And this room is filled with that tonight. We are all sitting here, we are all connected, and we are all fighting that fight. The power of allyship goes a long way. A long way. There are people, old, young, doesn't matter, you name it, who don't have that support from places that they should have that support, from family, from loved ones, and instead are struggling to become resilient in those areas that they shouldn't have to be resilient. And so if you are an ally, that is a really important person. It is an incredible person. You are very, very special and certainly seen here tonight. I'm probably going to say some things right now that, you know what, I might have to ask for forgiveness for later, but that's okay. It's no secret, obviously, in terms of where REDI is going. And so we know that our city of Temecula will continue to uphold the processes and the things that embrace equity and inclusion. There is no question about that. I believe that this commission has created a footprint that cannot be erased. What we have done here is not going away. And whatever comes of that will continue to preserve that. But this body that we see sitting here tonight, this body will not be here. And this body has done a lot of work in terms of creating the progress, certainly for tonight. And with that, I'm going to ask something that I probably would never really ask, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because, well, we'll be done in December. So, and there will be something new here, and the newness can forge its own place. But tonight, I am going to stand, and I am going to ask anybody who wants to stand with me to go ahead and recommit themselves to building a world that is safe, inclusive, and affirming for all people, no matter who they love or how they identify. And tonight, I thank all of you for being here and reconfirming and recommitting that to those that are in this room and beyond, because it is through that recommitment that we can continue to fight and move uphill and change the world, starting with the city of Temecula and our neighbors and everywhere else. I am so proud to be the chair of this commission for this year and to certainly serve as the chair for this Pride Month as we go into a sunsetting of REDI, but to the beautiful birth of something new that I know that our city will continue to preserve. So thank you. I believe we have executive director comments.
Yes, Chair Pastorian. I am reminded that the answer to discrimination, any kind of discrimination, is solidarity. Multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-gender, multi-socioeconomic, the answer is solidarity. Show up for each other and show up for others. It's so, so important. And this commission and this staff will continue to show up for you in any way we can. I will also say I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge on this day that we are celebrating the 58th anniversary of the U.S. Supreme Court of Loving versus Virginia. "58 years ago, it would have been illegal for my husband and I to be married." 58 years ago. We've made a lot of progress, but we have a long ways to go. And all of us, and all of us, and all of them, and us we're going to get there. We're going to get there. That concludes my comments.
Again, I just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody and know that you were loved, you were seen, you were heard, you were accepted, not just in this room, but in this city. Truly, there are allies no matter where you go, and certainly every single one of us sitting up here before you, we are one. So seek us out, find us. We're not hard to find, I can promise you that. But we will be here for you. With that, we will go ahead and take any pictures where you'd like. We can maintain this front area for a bit just for the scenic background, and then if we move to the foyer, then that would be great. And then again, please, please, please join us to the open invitation that Councilmember Schwenk gave to the Sunset Market. So I don't know. Let's just follow him and find out. But we will hopefully see you cruising around the Sunset Market and enjoying the evening tonight. With that, we are adjourned.